Hello everyone. Uh, in this video, we are going to draw the projection of plane, and this is our question in which a pentagonal lamina or lamina, you can say lamina, plane, or sheet, a pentagonal sheet in which each side is of 35 mm, and this sheet is lamina is resting on horizontal plane on one of its side, such that while resting on HP on one of the side, the surface makes an angle of 60° with HP, and the resting edge makes an angle of 45° VP. So we have to draw the projection. This projection is done in 3 steps. Again, we have to use this XY line. First condition will be for the resting edge or the plane which is resting on HP. So suppose this is a pentagon. Sorry, this is a pentagon. So while resting on HP, it appears like the actual pentagon. The original dimension will appear from the top view, and front view will be from the front. Front view will appear as a straight line, which is from here. It should start from this point to this point. Now, for the second step, it has been asked the pentagonal lamina while resting on one of its edge, one of its edge makes an angle of 60° with HP. So let us consider this is the resting edge. So when the surface makes an angle, and is it when this plane is inclined at an angle which is of 60°, so front view will be changed from straight line to an inclined line. So in next step, what we will do is just copy this thing here, this length. Suppose this is x, so this is going to be x. Now after rotation, when the plane is resting on one of this edge and makes an angle with 60°, so in front view we will get an inclined line, because while resting on HP we are getting a straight line on the front view which is on the reference line. But when it get rotated, the surface get rotated by 60° with the HP, then in front view we will get a inclined line which will be at 60°. So the surface is at 60°, and this edge is the resting edge. It means it is on the HP. So this edge is represented by this point, which should be on this reference line, because on this point represent this edge. So now you can trace now we can trace the pentagon. After rotation again, same thing will happen. This pentagon will become relatively shorter than this one. This length from here to here, this length will be reduced, because when we incline this thing with the HP, this will look like a compressed pentagon. So again, this will be our resting edge. Keeping this as a resting edge, this thing is inclined with the HP. Now for the third step, with the HP rotated with HP and resting edge on the HP, we have to make sure this resting edge should be inclined with the VP. So you need to do one thing, just copy this whole thing and put it here. Now you have to rotate it in such a way this resting edge should make the required angle with the XY. Because if this edge makes an angle with this XY, it means this angle is with VP, because just above the reference line we have vertical plane, and just below the reference line we have horizontal plane. In manual drawing you can do one thing, just make an angle which is given. Suppose that we have 30°, this resting edge makes an angle of 30° with the VP. So you can just draw a line first which should be at 30°, then you can find these 2 points. Suppose this is 10 mm, so you can do one thing, from this point to this point you can take a 10 mm distance, mark them A or B depending on these notation. Now from here you can just measure this angle and length, then you can create it here. Again, follow the same step for the rest of the sides, and in this way you can rotate this thing in manual drawing. such that this resting edge makes an angle of 30 degree with the P. Later you can trace out these points from, suppose this is A, and suppose A is here, so A will be here. The same way you can trace out the remaining edges. Now what we have to remember in this is our resting edge should be either on the left side or on the right side, because if I put on the resting edge or corner on the left or right, then it is easy to trace out the angle with the HP. Suppose this is resting. If I rotate the surface with HP at an angle of 60 degree, then this rotation will be observed in front view. But if I make the stop side uh, as the resting side, then it will be then the rotation of the surface will be like this from here. So it will be difficult to trace this angle here, because from the front view it will appear as a pentagon. So, and that pentagonal surface is not inclined at any angle with the HP. For this condition we have to take the side view, because only in side view, when we consider this as a resting corner or this as a resting edge, we have to take this side view to check the angle with the HP. So we're not going to make it complicated. So we are doing one thing, we are just making this left or right. Our resting edge or point should be either on the left side or on the right side. So we will solve this question, draw the projection on AutoCAD. Pentagon lamina of 25 mm side. So to draw the pentagon, just go to this drawing. Now within just below this rectangle command, click this, you will get polygon. Now it is asking for number of sides, so we have pentagon 5 sides. Just press 5 and enter. Now we are going to define this with the help of edge, because in question it is given we have pentagon with 25 mm sides, so we are going to define our pentagon with edge length. So select this edge. Now you have to specify first point, and just by clicking first point, just stretch your mouse or just move your cursor. Now just press the dimension. This pentagon is of 25 mm side length. Just type 25 and enter. So this pentagon is of 25 mm side. Check this dimension, or for this dimension we cannot use this linear command, we will use align one. So this one 20. Okay, I'm going to delete this. Okay, so this is a pentagon which is of 25 mm side. Now I'm going to mark the corners. This is A, and this would be B, this would be C, D, E. Now for the first condition, our pentagonal lamina is resting on HP on one of its side. So I'm assuming this is our AB is resting side. So obviously right now the whole pentagonal plane lamina is resting on HP. So whether you take this one or this one, every edge is on HP. So from the top view it will appear as a pentagon, and from front view we will have a straight line. So just trace out the points. From this point, create a vertical line which will intersect here from here. Now you have to trace all points. So this point, if I create a line from this point to this point, and this point will be on the same vertical line, that is why I'm using only a single line. From this point, create a line. Again, this line is passing through this point also, that is why only a single point. From here to here, another point. So our front view will be a straight line because in front view, from the front view, only this point will be visible, this will be visible, and this one. So this will be our starting point, because this point will be directly behind this point. This will be directly behind this, and this is the individual one. So the line will appear from here to here. It will be the starting point, this will be our end point. So from here to here. Now instead of creating a single segment, create multiple segments from this point to this point, then from this point to this point. I will tell you about the use of this multiple segment. Now our front view is created in two segments, first one and second one. Now name them. This is going to be our A dash and B dash, because this H, A and B, both points are on the same point. So this point represents this HAB. Similarly, this point represents E dash and C dash. Again, this one is E dash and C dash, and this one here is D dash. Now, this is our first condition when our plane is resting on HP. Now, for the second condition, while resting on one of its side, this planar surface makes an angle of 60 with the HP. So, I'm going to assume this, because I already told you we have to assume to perfectly trace the angle with HP, we have to consider the resting side or corner should be on the left or on the right side. So this is going to be our resting side. So now for the second step, what I will do is select this thing and copy this thing. Select the base point, this one, and I'm going to move it, copy this thing here. Now select this thing, because after rotation, when this plane is inclined at 60 degree with the HP, this thing, this front view is going to appear as a inclined line. So I'm going to rotate this thing. The rotation angle is 60 degrees. So I'm taking this as a base point and just type the angle 60. Now this is inclined at 60 degree with the HP. So why I'm taking this as a base point is because this is a resting side, so it should always stay on the HP, and by keeping this side on the HP, this surface is going to be inclined with the HP. So that is why this point represent A dash, B dash, and this point represent this H. So it should stay on the reference line because it is resting on HP. Now from this front view we can trace out our top view, which will be relatively little shorter in length. This length will be little shorter. The resulting top view will be a little length of this resulting top view will be little shorter than this one. So just trace this thing out. From we need to trace this point A and B. So from this point create a vertical line, and from here point A draw a horizontal line which will intersect here, and from point B create a line which will intersect here. So this point of intersection is A, and this point of intersection is B. Thus, in this point we have A dash, B dash, and here we have A. So this line, the point of intersection gives A, and this B dash line and B line gives us B. Similarly, we can find out this E and C. So again, now we have to find out this point, this length. That is why I have created this line in two segments, first one, second one, so that it could be easy to identify the segment. From here, this is the end point of our first segment, so the next line will be at the end point of this. So that is why I told you to make this line in multiple segments. Now what we have to do, we have to trace this E here and C will be here. Again for D, from this point create a vertical line, and from this point create a horizontal line. So this point will be our point D. This one is E, and this one is C, this point is D. Now you can connect these points to make a complete pentagon. A to B, C, then D, E, and again A. So this is a pentagon. When our surface is inclined at 60 degree with HP, then this resulting top view will be of little shorter. You can check the distance from this point to this point is 19.22 and originally it was 38.5. So this is how the length of this thing has been changed, and you can see if you compare this thing with the original one, you can see this pentagon is compressed after rotation. It looked like a compressed pentagon. Now for the next step, in which if you want you can remove this construction lines, or if you want to keep them you can, but I'm going to remove these lines. So now as per the third step, what we have to do, we have to align the, while maintaining these two conditions, resting, this pentagon is resting on AB, and along with this it is aligned with HP with 60 degree the surface, and along with these two conditions with HP 60 degree resting on AB, you have to make sure that this AB makes an angle of 45 degree with this VP. What we will do is just copy this thing, take a base point, this one. Now for this here, now you have to rotate it so that this AB edge, which is the resting edge, makes an angle of 45 degree with the HP. So either take this as a reference point or this point, you can rotate this thing so that this AB becomes inclined at 45 degree with the XY line. So just select this thing, rotate. Now I'm selecting this one and I'm going to rotate it by 45 degree. So now you can check. Okay, I've selected this point B as a base point. That is why it is rotated by 45 degree in the left side. If I do this thing again, if I do this thing here, it will be in the opposite direction. So it doesn't matter in which direction we are this thing getting rotated, but you have to make sure this resting side, this side should be with the given this side should be at the given angle. And the question has been asked, this side should be at a AB, resting side should be at an angle of 45 degree. So you have to make sure this side should make an angle of 45 degree. If the rotation is on the opposite side, it doesn't matter. Angle should be between this AB and this XY should be 45. Okay. Now from this point, we can do one more thing. We need to trace the front view. While this pentagon lamina is inclined with HP here and with VP here, now you have to see how it looks in the front view. So now when it is only inclined with the HP, only the, when this is at 60 degree with the HP, then we observe only inclined line. But keeping this thing in the on the horizontal plane and rotating it with the VP, now instead of horizontal line, a pentagon will appear on the front view. So to verify this, what we will do, trace these points C from here to here. C and E are on the same line. Let's check this. So here we have C dash. So this is our point C dash, and on this line we have E dash. So E here. So this is going to be our E dash, and the end point is our C dash. Now next point is D dash. Again from D create a vertical line, from D dash create a horizontal line. So this intersection point is D dash. Now next step is to find A dash B dash, which is on reference line. So create this from A to create a vertical line which will intersect with this reference line, because A dash is on reference, and for B again it is also B dash is also on this reference line. So this is going to be B dash. So let's copy this thing. This is going to be B dash, and this point is going to be A dash. Now you have to connect these points. So this is A dash, B dash, C, and A. So this is our resulting plane, resulting front view. So from this figure, what we can understand is pentagonal lamina is resting on HP. While resting on HP, in front view a straight line will appear because it is on HP. That is why the front view appears on the reference line. Now we are making this as a resting side, so I'm taking this resting sign on left side, or you can take it on the right side. Only then it is possible to trace out the horizontal angle which the surface makes. So that is why this resting side is on the left side. Now it is on rest side and the surface makes 60 degree with the HP. So this should be on the reference line and the front view will appear as an inclined line. Then again, by keeping this side on the HP and this side, this plane rotated at 60 degree with HP, you have to rotate this AB side with 45 degree, so that the AB becomes AB should be at an angle of 45 degree with the VP. So while you rotate this thing like this from here to here, so instead of a straight line on the vertical plane or on the front view, you will get a pentagon. So this is our projection of plane which is resting on HP on this side, and the surface while resting on HP makes an angle of 60 degree with the HP, and along with these two conditions, the resting edge makes an angle of 45 degree with the VP. So this is our question. That's it. Thank you.